Alright YouTube, I'm going to be replacing the fuel filter on my 09 Mini Cooper. What I've been told, it's about a 15-minute job. It is actually inside the fuel tank, where most vehicles have the fuel filter inside the engine. Fuel tank is underneath the seat. What I've been told is all you need to do is lift up on it, on both corners. Okay, there you go. So that's what I've been told, and then it just kind of pulls out while I work on that. So guys, I was able to pop these off. They're really easy, little tabs up here. But I wasn't able to get the back off, which is okay. I put a bucket here just to hold the seat up. This is the compartment I need to get to. I'm going to be taking these 5 bolts off and replacing the filter underneath. So guys, the Amazon kit comes with the filter, which is universal. They can go both directions. Comes with 2 smaller washers. It's for the piece that goes in here, and the piece that goes in here. 2 of these guys, what I've been told is you only need 1. We'll see when we get into it. And then 1 of these guys, that goes around one of the other plastic pieces, the lid that goes in there. So let's get tearing this thing open. Alright guys, so it is 5 10mm nuts that you got to take off to get this off. Once that's off, there's a seal that goes all the way around this to hold this black lid on. You just pry up around the edge lightly and it'll pry off. So I got the 5 bolts off. We're just going to pry up underneath this guy and pop it off. Should come off about that easy, maybe a little bit more effort. So that's what we're looking at. Dust and spiders. We're going to actually vacuum that out and get as much out as we can before opening this lid. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to take this and take a little mark right here and put a little mark on the body. Okay, and then we're going to actually remove this sensor, and this ring is going to twist off. Should only, I don't know, about 5 or 6 turns and it'll be off. The reason for this mark is so when you get it put back on, you screw it back down, you make sure this is in similar location where it came out, and line that up and you'll know it's tight enough. So let's get started by popping this guy off and removing this guy. So one thing to note, this guy has a little bit of pressure behind it. If you've just been driving your car, there's actually a valve on the fuel rail up in front that you want to release. It's a little Schrader valve. You just push in and let all the pressure out. One thing I recommend when you're pulling this guy out is once you remove these clips, push these clips in and you pull out on it, you need to have a rag over it so it doesn't squirt off everywhere. So then you just pull that guy out, push it off to the side. Okay, make sure it may still drip only because you have fuel on your fuel rail. Okay, so once you have that ring off, what you're going to do is just put a screwdriver in here and pry up on it. It literally should just come up with a little pressure. It's going to have a little more pressure than that. I already popped it off, but once you get that off, then you can pull it out, okay? And make sure you have rags down in there because gas will come out, okay? And then you're going to take this top piece off of that. This top piece, I don't know if you can really see it. See 2 different colored plastics. You're going to remove this plastic from that plastic. Okay, so to remove this, you need to put a screwdriver in here and you turn it probably about a 1/4 turn to where it is now. Okay, and then you're going to take a screwdriver and pry from this lip to this metal lip here and just work it all the way around until it comes off, and then you'll be able to see the filter. Okay, so got the lid off. One of the gaskets you're going to need to replace is this guy. That's what the smaller one. You're going to take a little screwdriver or something with a little pry pick on it. In this case, I'm going to use one of these guys. And you just get underneath the lip of that gasket and just pull it off. Okay, to remove this filter, you're just gonna pull up on it. It's very similar to the oil filter where it just snaps in. I'm gonna go ahead and turn the camera off and do it, and then I'll show you. I don't want it to spill everywhere, but yeah, you just pull up on it, just similar to what the oil filter is. It just pops off, and then look down the bottom and replace the seal there, and put this guy back on. All right, this is what we're looking at, guys. Look how dirty that filter is. I'm not even sure when this thing's been replaced. Now, with filters, sometimes they run better when they're a little dirty, but man, that is clogged. Pretty bad. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the new filter in, same way this came out. One thing before you put this in, there is another washer down in here. It's the big one, okay? That goes along the rim here, okay? And then there's another washer down at the bottom, similar to the one we placed on the lid that you want to replace. Alright, so I got the bottom washer back in, got this thing snapped in. Make sure you push it all the way down and rotate it, and you can actually hear this thing rubbing on the bottom. When you hear that, you know it's all the way in. If it's not all the way in, you're going to have troubles putting this guy back on. Now I've replaced this outer gasket and this inner, O-rings. And now I'm just going to push it back on to the filter and then twist it. So you'll push the center in as tight as it can, lining these things up, and then just twist it over your quarter turn, and then you're done. Snap this thing back in and let the car fuel filter or fuel pump run a little bit just to get fuel into here. It'll take about 10-15 seconds, and then your car will start. So let's get this thing back together. Okay, so now that I got this guy back on, you just need to make sure you push it down tight before you twist it over. Before you pop this guy back on, make sure you put that ring back in, because that's what's going to hold it down into place. Now there's grooves. Don't be afraid that, you know, oh, I don't have this lined up in the right place. There's grooves. It will line itself up, okay? But once you push it down, you get the metal ring, put it on, and tighten that metal ring back down. So one thing I forgot to show you guys, you want to make sure that blue gasket is seated down before you push this whole unit down. So you just want to line that up, and then push the filter housing down. Alright, so you can see I made a mark there and made a mark there. Everything's lined back up. We're in. Now it's just a matter of putting this back in. Okay. And we're going to begin to start the car, but I don't want to put anything on this until I see that there's no leaks. So let me try to start the car. So now that it's running, you're going to check for leaks here and around the whole ring here. And if you don't see any leaks, I'd say button it up and call it a day. Now if I wasn't videoing this, it would have taken me maybe 10-15 minutes like they said, so that's what you're looking at.